On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence2025.
Noblesville hitting the mark, scoring a big-time deal to land the headquarters for one of the most popular sports on earth.
We're one of the few countries that did not have a combined training and wellness center for our Olympic athletes in gymnastics. That changes today.
Plus, Purdue's newest space mission outside the planet.
We're going to have a suborbital space flight crewed entirely by Boilermakers.
And we catch up with Boiler basketball head coach Matt Painter. Plus, an Indiana-based startup takes its innovative resuscitator device to a nationwide market. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gerry Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and Liuna.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gerry Dick, coming to you this week from Noblesville, the fast-growing city of Noblesville, the county seat of Hamilton County, just north of Indianapolis. This city of 75,000 scoring another big win in the business of sports. Noblesville vaulting into the athletic spotlight to become a core anchor for USA Gymnastics, the governing body of gymnastics in America, selecting Noblesville's Innovation Mile district as home for its new headquarters, which will also include a training and wellness center for future Olympic gymnasts. It is a big get with an economic payoff for the city.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be able to make the announcement that Innovation Mile in Noblesville has been selected as the site of the future USA Gymnastics Training and Wellness Center.
It was an announcement more than 3 years in the making. USA Gymnastics selecting Noblesville as the home for its new headquarters, training, and wellness center. It will likely be located adjacent to Noblesville's new arena at Innovation Mile and serve as an anchor of the 600-acre district just off I-69 that is envisioned as a sports, business, and technology hub. More than a dozen cities nationwide, including neighboring Westfield, submitted proposals for the headquarters and training center, which is expected to generate more than 20,000 heads and beds annually for local hotels, with room to grow.
Because this will be the heart and hub of gymnastics in America, it will be the central gathering point. We will operate and host a lot of educational clinics so we can train coaches for the next generation of coaches, as well as to train the next generation of athletes. This development Innovation Mile will be tremendous. Still early stages, and we will be one of the earlier tenants of it, but the potential for growth is incredible.
For Greenfield native and 1996 Olympic gold medalist J.C. Phelps, the impact of the Training and Wellness Center will be far-reaching. It is viewed as a key element of the Indiana Sports Corporation's stated goal of making Indiana, and Indianapolis specifically, the global epicenter of women's sports.
Every child out there, every gymnast out there that aspires to be the next Simone Biles, Suni Lee, all of the big name heroes, that they're going to have an opportunity to interact, come watch them train right in their backyard, is something that you can't put it into words. I mean, it's going to do so much for the sport of gymnastics, our community, and the state of Indiana as a whole.
And joining me now with more on this major announcement in Noblesville is the city's mayor, Chris Jensen. Mayor, thanks for
Gerry, good to see you.
Taking the time. Big day for Noblesville and for Indiana. There are national implications of this announcement.
You know, I said, yes, this is a great day for Noblesville. It's a great day for the state of Indiana. It's a great day for America. You know, we were one of the few countries that did not have a combined training and wellness center for our Olympic athletes in gymnastics. That changes today. And so we're going to combine, currently the girls train in Texas, boys are in Colorado, rhythmics in Chicago. That's all going to be combined here to Central Indiana and Noblesville, Indiana.
From a business standpoint, economic development, the prospect of that kind of input here is attractive.
Well, it plays into our calculation, right? We need to make sure that we have a solid ROI when we make investments like this. And the fact that USA Gymnastics is going to drive about 22,000 heads and beds every year to Central Indiana, and that's a big deal. And then overall tax incentives and the economic condition that you mentioned, they're going to drive tourists and revenue right here to the Hoosier state, and that plays a big part into our calculations.
Talk about national implications. There was national competition that Noblesville faced to get this, including Colorado Springs and Frisco, Texas, an emerging sports center as well.
And I think this shows today that we can compete with the big dogs. Colorado Springs and Frisco, Texas are nothing to sneeze at. I mean, they are a sports mecca. We have a pretty good strategy here in Central Indiana. Indiana Sports Corps is leading the 2050 strategy aimed at being the sports capital of the world and certainly female sports as well. And we're showing today that we can play in that space, and we're going to continue playing in that space.
We were talking earlier, very competitive situation. You said you almost lost the deal this summer.
Yeah, this summer, we knew we were up against some big fish, and the state of Texas and the state of Colorado put in some additional incentives towards the end. Indiana, as a state, declined to do that, and I respect that, but that just puts more pressure on us locally to step up that much more, and we've decided that, we're going to continue to help lead economic development for the entire state as local cities going forward.
What does this mean for the future development of Innovation Mile? We're standing in the arena at Innovation Mile to get a tenant like USA Gymnastics. What does that mean for the future growth?
It means worldwide exposure. Not only are you going to have the Noblesville boom that's in 26 media markets across the country in Mexico and Canada, now you're going to have folks traveling from all over America here to Central Indiana to be a part of the gymnastics community, to have the Olympians in here prior to LA 2028, training in Noblesville. It's just going to continue to show a spotlight on Central Indiana.
Growth continues in Noblesville. Mayor Chris Jensen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Gary.
Well, coming up next, we will be back in studio for the rest of the show, and that includes more big news in the business of sports, including an update on Indy's preparations to host the NCAA Final Four next spring. It's just 6 months out now.
If we're preseason number one, that'll be the fourth year in the last 5 that we've been number one in the country. I think that's pretty cool for our program.
And we hear from Purdue head coach Matt Painter and his eyes on the prize to take it all on Hoosier soil in 2026.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising faster among
Alzheimer's cases rising as population solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Our Innovate Indiana series is on the move in October. Join us for Innovate South Bend Elkhart in South Bend, October 14th, and Innovate South Central Indiana in Bloomington, October 24th. The Innovate series is presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. Each location will feature a powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight, and what's next for each region. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate.
Buying or selling a home is too important to go it alone. Realtors are on your side when it matters most, as local housing experts with insight that goes deeper than a set of search results. With a strict code of ethics and higher professional standards to protect your interests. And with a commitment to Indiana, standing up for homeowners and taxpayers, supporting our economy, and working for stronger communities.
Indiana Realtors, the neighbors you know, the experts you trust, will find your way home.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Well, another big score for Indianapolis, the city preparing to host for the 9th time, yes, the 9th time, the crown jewel of men's college basketball. The countdown is on to the 2026 NCAA Men's Final Four in Indianapolis. In little more than 6 months, Indy will again be the epicenter of hoops. More than 400 sports, business, and tourism officials marked the countdown this week at a tip-off event in downtown Indianapolis, sponsored by IBJ Media and the Indiana Sports Corporation. The event included a panel discussion that I hosted, reflecting back on one of Indy's true shining moments. Its Herculean effort in hosting the entirety of March Madness during the pandemic in 2021, a feat made possible by a tireless army of volunteers.
We literally had people doing laundry, we had people delivering food, we had people running errands. We set up a whole delivery system for people who were in the bubble who could not go out and get stuff. I mean, if your toothbrush breaks, you got to get a toothbrush. So we had a whole system set up for that. And those volunteers worked almost around the clock. Actually, in the laundry's case, they did work around the clock. And everyone just set aside what they were doing and came together and put this on.
As for future Final Fours, competition among cities is heating up, but Indy's got game.
And the thing I think that has, in my 13 years at the NCAA, set Indianapolis aside from every other regular host of the men's Final Four is that the community never rests on its laurels. This morning is a great example of that. There's always new things, innovative things, new initiatives that are being added that set Indianapolis apart from a very competitive marketplace.
Also at the event, the NCAA announced it will partner with the Indiana Sports Corporation and Indianapolis Business Journal to honor longtime business and civic leader Jim Morris during next year's Final Four with the Be Better campaign, an initiative to recognize individuals who embrace the same values regarding community impact as Jim Morris, who passed away in 2024. Well, one state program shooting for another trip to the Final Four in Indianapolis next spring. Matt Painter and his Purdue Boilermakers. They are hard at work. This was in the summer, hard at work, practicing, recruiting, and more with workouts. Painter led the Boilers to the Final Four in 2024, and many have the Boilers as a favorite to be in Indy next spring. He shared his insight on the current state of college basketball, the challenges of recruiting, and which is tougher, throwing out the first pitch at a Cubs game or coaching Purdue basketball in this week's Business and Beyond podcast.
I promise you, it's not much, but his isn't much. Now, if he gets a chicken wing on him,
I've seen what education has done for people and the opportunities it presents. I just don't like anything that diminishes that. It doesn't mean I don't embrace name, image, and likeness, because I do. I just like to see a balance where those guys can get paid, you know, what they're worth, they get their education, and they also have a great experience from a basketball standpoint that helps them grow and hopefully become professionals. You know, I think Purdue's a unique place.
What a win!
You know, we've had 89 straight sellouts. You know, they love their basketball. They understand basketball, but they know, our fans know about playing hard and what that looks like. And so that's what we want to embody. You know, we want to get guys that have a strong passion for the game of basketball, but also have a balance and understand where education can take you in your life and put you in different rooms and get better opportunities. And it doesn't guarantee anything, but, you know, you shouldn't leave Purdue and just the only thing you had was an all-conference plaque. You know, you should have made contacts and friends and people that you're going to grow with and grow old with, but also, you know, that you're going to do business with.
Which is more pressure, coaching at Purdue or throwing out the first pitch at Wrigley?
Coaching at Purdue, no doubt about it. I love baseball. I love the Cubs, but I'm not a good baseball player. So if I fail, it's like you can just fall back on.
No biggie.
This isn't my sport, and so I just like it. But I'm really in awe of it. Like I went to about 25 games this year.
Did you really? 25? Wow.
Yeah, and I'm in awe of those guys, man. It's hard. People don't realize how hard what people do that play it, how hard the sport is.
Had a great conversation with Purdue head basketball coach Matt Painter. It's on the next Business and Beyond podcast, and we'll be launching it Monday morning. When we come back, Hoosier innovation at work to help people come back to life. How an Indiana-based startup took its manual resuscitator to market for patients across the country to use. Next, in the Business of Health.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Who is Rally for? Rally's for everybody. And that's hard to accept because you see all these big top names and you're like, how do I walk into that room with some of the most famous folks in the world, of Molly Blooms and the Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank? Like, do I belong there? Absolutely you belong to Rally. You know, there's no question about it. So get your ticket before it sells out.
Welcome back. Eli Lilly and Company with another major announcement this week. Just one of many stories Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta has for us this week. Kylie?
Thank you, Gary. Eli Lilly and Company continuing its march to ramp up U.S. drug production, one-upping its $5 billion plant announcement in Virginia last week. Lilly announcing this week it will build a $6.5 billion plant in Houston to make its highly anticipated weight loss drug that comes in pill form instead of injection. Company will submit the drug for approval this year. The Indianapolis-based pharmaceutical giant is growing here in its home state, too. Construction is underway at the LEAP Research and Innovation District in Lebanon, where Lilly is spending $13 billion to build new manufacturing sites. The Houston facility is the second of 4 plants that Lilly has committed to building in the U.S. And now to a startup we've been following for years. The Butterfly BVM is ready for the big leagues. Created by Indianapolis-based Compact Medical, the device just earned FDA clearance, now ready to roll out nationwide.
The traditional one-size-fits-all bag valve mask, or BVM, has hardly changed since the 1950s and can inadvertently harm the patient by pumping too much air. Creators of the Butterfly BVM say it delivers smarter CPR by giving medics more control. And now it's go time.
But what's been always a bummer up to this point is we've always had to tell them, like, yeah, we're not FDA cleared yet. So, like, just got to wait a little longer. It's now exciting to be able to say, and we're FDA cleared.
The device features 2 dials. One selects a patient's size from infant to adult to deliver the correct amount of air. The second dial keeps air pressure in a safe zone.
And now it's like, okay, now that it's cleared, all of a sudden a new door opens up that was previously shut to you. And it's all the, like you're saying, it's the marketing and actually getting the product out.
You go to EMS World, it's your local conference on steroids.
And the biggest sales opportunity yet, the EMS World Expo, just days away, being held right here in Indianapolis for the first time, giving home court advantage to target thousands of potential customers.
A conference like this is one of our most important target markets that we're focusing on, is the emergency medical services pre-hospital market, right? And everybody at this conference is part of that market, right? And so it's a really targeted, great venue for us.
The Butterfly BVM is manufactured in central Indiana, and final assembly is at the Hope Center, Indy.
The Hope Center brings freedom to ladies who were formerly enslaved.
A faith-based not-for-profit for women escaping human trafficking. They live on campus while learning job skills, a mission now boosted by the Butterfly BVM.
Paramedics will be the device's first target market, but Merrill says there's also great potential in the hospital industry and military. Well, it's sniffle season in Indiana as fall allergies begin, and 2 Hoosier doctors are selling a new product they say will help. The 2 recent IU School of Medicine graduates created Sinusana and are now selling the respiratory wellness device on Amazon, Shopify, and Walmart.com. The mask delivers heated, dry air in 20-minute sessions to dry out germs, open nasal passages, and soothe the irritated sinuses. The 2 Hoosier docs say it's a natural, drug-free method to relieve nasal congestion. Indiana investors include Boomerang Ventures and Vision Tech Partners.
Life as we knew it changed with one little diagnosis: cerebral palsy.
Magical Meadows in Warsaw broke ground this week on a $2 million expansion that will add 2 new riding arenas, one focused on veterans and first responders, and the other for children and adults with disabilities. The new indoor space will open the door to year-round therapeutic horseback riding. Magical Meadows has raised $1.2 million toward its $2 million goal.
Butterfly, the mobile resuscitator.
Yes.
Great story on that. How'd the idea come about?
So the CEO is a doctor, and he was working in a NICU here in Indianapolis, and he got the idea for a device that needed to be a different size. And it's interesting how he found his co-founder was actually at a Purdue event on campus. His co-founder was an undergrad in biomedical engineering at the time. The two connected, and the rest is history, as they say.
Entrepreneurial success story.
That's right.
Thanks, Kylie.
Yep.
Here's what's making news around Indiana. Brought to you by the Indiana Association of Realtors. Indiana's 21,000 realtors. The neighbors you know, the experts you can count on.
And we begin this week in Bloomington, where the region is riding a bit of an economic roll. The numbers coming in are very big. The Bloomington Economic Development Corporation says Monroe County has topped $1 billion in capital improvements and added more than 900 new jobs over the past 5 years. The city's a huge footprint within the pharmaceutical industry driving a lot of that growth. Companies like Cook Medical, Simtra Biopharma, Catalent, all leading the way. Well, after 2 years of delays, Amazon has officially opened its new fulfillment center in Elkhart County. The 800,000 square foot facility expected to ultimately employ about 1,000 workers. Amazon has invested $200 million into that project. And the opening comes less than a month after Amazon opened a delivery station in Elkhart that brought an additional 250 jobs to the region. The city of Elkhart also reinforcing its position as the RV capital of the world. Inside Indiana business reporter Yola Longue snapped these images from the Elkhart RV dealer open house this week. The event showcasing the snazzy newest innovations in the RV industry. More than 80% of RVs produced come from the Elkhart region. And it's the end of an era for the Subaru of Indiana manufacturing plant in Lafayette. After 36 years, the company just produced its final Subaru Legacy model. Subaru is shifting to production of its Forester and Forester hybrid models there. SIA says it expects to produce its 8 millionth vehicle at the Lafayette plant in November. Well, Indianapolis-based marketing and consulting firm Prolific playing a major role this week in the 3rd annual Rally Conference in downtown Indianapolis. Attendees from around the globe gathered to talk about the connection and learn at the first Prolific Growth Summit. Company values, a central topic of discussion across a variety of industries there. Prolific says a goal was to share how growth happens and the role of leaders in the process.
We had a sports tech panel with executives from the top players in digital sports around the country. And you could just tell how engaged the crowd was. And by the way, what a big thing sports is. You know, for us in Indiana, sports has always been big, but nationwide, every day, sports is a bigger deal.
Indeed. The Prolific Growth Summit and Rally Innovation Conference all happening this week at the Indiana Convention Center in downtown Indianapolis. Well, the newest addition to the downtown Indianapolis skyline is one of the stories the IBJ is focusing on this week. IBJ reporting the 38-story Signia Hotel about to pass the halfway mark in terms of construction. That $710 million project is on track to open next fall. An interesting note about work at the site, crews ran into an old Indianapolis streetcar tunnel that connected to Union Station. And you can read about it all in this week's IBJ. Still ahead for you. Purdue University's newest space mission and why it could be a game changer in exploring the next frontier and how things work outside planet Earth.
Virgin Galactic and enough the support from Purdue to do this.
Buying or selling a home is too important to go it alone. Realtors are on your side when it matters most, as local housing experts with insight that goes deeper than a set of search results. With a strict code of ethics and higher professional standards to protect your interests. And with a commitment to Indiana, standing up for homeowners and taxpayers, supporting our economy, and working for stronger communities.
Indiana Realtors, the neighbors you know, the experts you trust, will find your way home.
Who is Rally for? Rally's for everybody. And that's hard to accept because you see all these big top names and you're like, how do I walk into that room with some of the most famous folks in the world of Molly Blooms and the Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank? Like, do I belong there? Absolutely you belong to Rally. You know, there's no question about it. So get your ticket before it sells out.
Education doesn't stop when you graduate, or when you land your first job, or when you get your first promotion. Because education, just like your drive to be the best, doesn't stop. We can help you continue to learn, make connections, and sharpen the skills you need to succeed. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
faster
businesses
among
need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Time now for our Eye on Education, brought to you by PNC Bank.
It will mark a change in how the aerospace industry community conducts research and spaceflight for the future, opening the doors for all the next students and researchers to extend beyond their laboratories here on Earth and go into space.
That's Purdue student and future astronaut Abby Mizzi giving a new meaning to Boiler Up. She's part of Purdue's next mission into space. Well, Purdue, of course, has played a major role in shaping space exploration for decades, including Boiler alum Neil Armstrong becoming the first human to walk on the moon. The university's renowned School of Aeronautics and Astronautics is taking on a new venture. As Neil Armstrong would say, taking a giant leap, partnering with Virgin Galactic to launch an all-Purdue crew aboard a galactic suborbital spaceflight to learn more about long-term missions in space.
We're going to have a suborbital space flight crewed entirely by Boilermakers. They are actually going to do teaching, learning, and research while on the flight.
The Purdue One mission, set for 2027, is exactly what we envisioned when we built our spaceflight system and research platform, putting scientists, engineers, and students at the heart of discovery, enabling them to conduct and interact with human-tended experiments in suborbital space.
Purdue experiments will look at how fluids react in zero gravity, a research area that is critical to advancing spaceflight design. Well, back on Earth now as we leave you this week with art in a Hoosier farm field. It's in southwest Indiana at Holiday World, where it's beginning to look a lot like fall. I'm Gerry Dick. Thanks for joining us this week. Go out and make it a successful week.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
We build Indiana. The Laborers International Union of North America are building roads and bridges to get Hoosiers where they're going today, and a new energy infrastructure that will keep Indiana competitive tomorrow. LIUNA's over 12,000 statewide members also grow local economies, earning good union wages, shopping where they live and work, and paying taxes. We build Indiana for good jobs and stronger communities. The Laborers International Union of North America. We are LIUNA.
Been a while. What have you been up to?
Oh, you know.
Oh, I see it's not flossing. I just added some secret weapons to my toolkit.
Huh?
They help me drill down further, digging deeper than I ever could before. Into my business and personal finances with Lake City Bank Digital.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Now let's take care of that tooth.
Add sharper tools for your money with Lake City Bank Digital.
You are all set, Brian.
I'm Devin.
Curious about what's shaping law in Indiana? From court reforms and NIL rights to mental health courts and energy commissions, the Indiana Lawyer Podcast breaks down the biggest legal issues of our time. I'm your host, reporter Maura Johnson. Join me every other week for your insider guide to what matters in law and why it impacts you. Subscribe now in your favorite podcast app or at ibjpodcasts.com.
On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.